Hey guys, welcome to Jen's Lemonade Life. I just thought I would shoot a quick video, just kind of like documenting and just keeping in touch as well. Oh gosh, it was the day before April Fool's because it would have seemed like a good April Fool. So March 31st, I experienced my first earthquake. Now, if I had ever been through one, it wasn't one that I really felt or remembered, so this was my first memorable one. I was actually at work, but it was the end of my shift, and I was also on break. I had kind of a weird shift that I had picked up from someone, so the last 15 minutes of my shift was a break. So I'm really grateful that I wasn't on the phone with someone, with a customer. That would have been weirder, definitely, for sure. Hey, I'm going through an earthquake. I'm gonna put you on hold and we'll see when I come back. Some people had that. A lot of coworkers were working at that time. I do work from home, so I just have my in-home office, and my little dog was at my feet, and I just noticed things kind of moving around. And my first thought is sometimes when there's like a big like semi truck or heavy equipment driving by, you might feel a little rattling in your house. But I realized it was bigger and longer, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is an earthquake. I was pretty frazzled the rest of the day, and it's not that I was like scared for my life, but it was just one of those shocking things that when you live in a place that doesn't have a lot of earthquakes, you're just not expecting it. So it's not in your plans, not in your frame of mind of something you're going to run into. So it was a 6.5 earthquake. It was 78 miles from here, and it was felt in at least 5 states and I think 1 or 2 provinces in Canada. So it was pretty far spread out. I had lots of family and friends in different states that also felt it. And I did have a couple things that fell off a shelf as I was exiting my room to leave the house. Once I realized it was an earthquake, it was just very, I don't know, it was very surreal. You're just like, okay, what should I be doing now? I know they talk about standing in a doorway, but I don't see how that's really that much safer, which they actually don't say to do anymore. But it was easy enough to be able to go outside. I could have exited really quickly out of my room directly outside, but I kind of went through the house because I wanted to see how my roommates were, and it didn't seem that serious at the time. But I think being a newbie to earthquakes, like I don't know how they build up. So I was like, will you feel it and then it'll just get worse and worse, or does it just like start off bad, you know? So I was kind of being cautious, trying to be aware of the situation, but you know, it ended pretty soon. There were a couple of, I don't know, I think someone said it was like 20 seconds or something, but either way, I don't know. If you've been through an earthquake, I'd love to know your experience. And gosh, I don't think they've had one in here in Idaho since the year before I was born, I think I was reading. And that was around, I think that was like a 6.9, so a little bit more intense. A couple kids actually died from it, tons of property damage, but yeah, so that's one to add to the list. We're just joking about the apocalypse here. Like, we've got this pandemic and we've got earthquakes, and that same day there were rare tornadoes that touched down in different places in the US. And we're just like, signs of the times. Anyway, going back to other things, so pandemic, COVID-19, still no one that I know that has actually been positive, which is good. Doing pretty good at staying home. The odd doctor's appointment or grocery run happens. I have my 1-month follow-up on my LASIK next week, so that'll be interesting. I'll probably be wearing a face mask for that. Like, I think the CDC is starting to recommend that everyone wear face masks going out, just assuming that you are infected. And I don't know why I have such an aversion to that. Like, I don't want people to freak out and draw attention to me, but like, I think that's just, my pride shouldn't be, like, my pride and vanity should not be what's important. So anyway, I'm sure I will wear some. And actually, I spent an absurd amount of time today. Gosh, I didn't even work today. We could talk about that too, but I thought I was going to get so much done, and yet not much at all. Which, granted, sometimes you just need to take a day where, like, I will be not productive, but I try to be productive. I do not sew much. I inherited my grandma's sewing machine. She was a huge quilter when she passed away, and I bust that puppy out like every 5 years. So I get nervous that I'm going to break it. I get intimidated because there's so many different like feet to it and all these doodads, and I get frustrated, like the bobbin, figuring that every single time I don't know what direction things go. And like right now it sounds and feels like it's hitting it too hard, so I'm like, is that needle dull or is an adjustment? I don't know. But I'm trying to do my part. I also inherited from her, and my mom gave me, and like my sister-in-law gave me. I just have a lot of fabric and a lot that has patterns that I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe I'll use it for something someday. And being the hoarder slash pack rat that I am, I've just had them. So I am going to make and donate a lot of face masks. Part of a Facebook group, and they're collecting thousands of homemade face masks for local hospitals upon their request, and individuals that are in need, and like nursing care homes and that kind of stuff. So it feels really great to be part of something, kind of the whole Rosie the Riveter but modern day. And I don't know, it gives me a lot of pride and also a lot of purpose, even though I know I'm going to be the slowest sewer ever. In the end, I might sew a few and then just cut up and donate the rest of my fabric for the quicker sewers. Like, that's probably going to happen, but I want to do my part. And as I was going through my fabric tonight, sorting out what can be used and what can't, I just thought, you know, especially the stuff from my grandma, like, she would be so proud, I think, that I'm using her materials for good. She was a great example of Christianity. And also I came across some fabric that was used at my wedding reception, and I got divorced about, gosh, 2.5 years ago. I can't even keep track anymore. And it kind of feels nice that, you know, instead of just sitting there, and when I rummage through there, it kind of brings up memories, but that's something that didn't go so well and is kind of sad, can turn into a blessing for others. So there's some nostalgia and some poetic beauty in all of it. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing a lot of this. My camera's about to run out of battery, but I thought I'd say hi, document what's going on in April 2020. I would be lying if I were to say that I wasn't starting to miss the future. That sounds weird, but I just think, you know, there's so many plans, and I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll get to that. Like, we'll do that sometime this spring. We'll do that sometime this summer. But I don't know. I don't know when I'll get back to normal life. Now, there are good things. You know, I'm spending a lot more time with my roommates. We're having girls' movie nights all the time, and just getting to know each other and coming together. So that's really nice. Oh, work. Yeah, so working for an airline. Not good for the airlines right now. Yes, there's a bailout. No, that does not go in the pockets of CEOs. Our CEO and like head people, they're all taking pay cuts, going down to zero pay. Like, management is doing a lot to secure our jobs, and we're applying for leave of absences right now from 30 days to 120 days. A lot of people are volunteering. I have considered a 30-day. I have not chosen to yet because it's hard. It's unpaid. But I am taking, like today, I took a 1-day voluntary leave of absence. And so, you know, as things progress, we'll see what's needed. I might take one for the team so that we don't get furloughed and lose our jobs. But either way, I got 1 minute left on my battery, and I appreciate you guys joining me. I hope you are safe. I hope you're healthy and happy, and we will see you next time we can do this. Check out my other channel, link down below. I'm doing a 21-day lockdown escape room. So it's free, it's virtual, it's fun, keeps you busy. I'd love for you to share, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.